Pasko.
And of course, dahil patapos na nga ang taon, aalamin rin natin ang mga achievements ng POEA ngayong umaga. So for that, makakasama natin ang Administrator ng Philippine Overseas Employment Administration na si Sir Hans Leo Cacdac. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Welcome
morning.
back sa Good Morning po, sir.
Oo nga, it's good to be back and of course, good morning din sa inyo mga televiewers.
Sir, siguro to start off, pwede ba natin pag-usapan kung ano po ba itong balik-manggagawa processing system na ito?
Oo, well, as you said, ang ating mga balik-manggagawa nagsisiuwian, ating mga OFWs either on vacation or ending contracts. And usually we register 60 to 70% increases in traffic at the POEA office. And the reason is the balik-manggagawa would want to get their overseas employment certificates or clearances prior to departure. No? So, ang sinasagawa natin dyan is to make sure na convenient yung proseso. At the POEA, we have an ISO certified procedure. We have a quality management system that ensures na 3 minutes lang ay makukuha na yung kanilang overseas employment certificate. But the challenge is volume. Yung dami ng tao pupunta sa amin. And therefore, ang ginagawa natin dyan is dinamihan natin yung options, yung pwedeng puntahan ng ating mga balik-manggagawa. So first off, nandiyan dyan yung POA Central Office sa Ortigas Corner EDSA, galing na kayo doon.
Yes.
And then, meron tayong regional centers all over the country in every major Philippine city. From Tuguegarao down to Davao City, Zamboanga. And then, meron tayong within Metro Manila, mall stations. So may duty-free Parañaque, may Trinoma, merong SM Manila, which by the way, we just expanded. We're very thankful to the SM management. 20 square meters, naging 260 square meters.
Wow, malayo.
Ang
Malaki.
pwesto natin doon.
Wow.
Oo. Gumanda and it's a very impressive facility. I must say, we're thankful once again to SM for that. But that is a genuine option for our OFWs, especially those living in the western side of the metropolis sa Maynila. Ano? And then, meron tayong additional areas for this season. OWA, yung OWA headquarters sa Pasay City. We're thankful to Administrator May Dimzon for allowing us to set up a facility there. So, pwede na rin ho sa OWA FB Harrison, Pasay City Central Office. Pag-ibig, sa Buendia, yung kanilang main office, and we're thankful to CEO Elelen de Berberabe for this. And of course, option na rin yun. And then, we are setting up currently with Robinson's Management, Robinson's Pioneer, dito sa may EDSA. And that too is an option for our OFWs. And then, added to that, we are increasing our working hours for the peak season.
Yes.
For selected dates, we are opening as early as 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so we started last December 16. And this December 23rd, we will have our second day of 6 a.m. December 26, January 2, January 3, January 6. And then we will be open on one Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. That is January 4th.
Okay.
So these are the many things that we have put up this year. Of course, before I forget, yung ating appointment system, similar to the appointment system sa passporting. Pwede rin hong kumuha ng appointment to get your OEC for balik-manggagawa, takdang petsa, takdang oras, bmappointment.poea.gov.ph.
Okay. And matanong ko naman po, sino ba yung kabilang dito sa mga balik-manggagawa?
Yung ating balik-manggagawa are returning workers or OFWs who come home either to take a vacation or are on ending contracts, as we say. Around 600 to 700,000 a year. That is the biggest segment of OFWs which the POEA serves, more than the newly hired workers. So, kailangan talagang bigyan ng kaukulang pansin kasi sa volume nila, are OFWs under our jurisdiction.
Okay.
And sir, ito ba, like, sinabi niyo na nga po na, kumbaga, ang dami na nga inopen na mga facilities na para nga mapuntahan nga po at maging mas convenient para sa ating mga OFW. Pero aside from this, ano pa po yung mga ibang paghahanda na ginagawa niyo po para sa pagdagsa nga po ng mga OFWs natin?
Well, for next year, we are rolling out an online facility. Itong appointment system is just a step towards an online facility similar to an e-ticketing system sa airlines, no? Whereby one could just apply for the OAC at the convenience of his or her own home or office and print out the OEC, the clearance at one's home or office. So this, and also pay for the requirements. No? I forgot to mention that to secure an OEC, merong payments that are in order in terms of yung contributions or memberships sa mga social insurance systems such as OWA, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth. So next year, this is something to look forward to, online or automated OEC system for balik-manggagawa.
So now that we know na sobrang convenient na talaga nito, ano po ba yung mga kailangan nila dalhin if they are going to go through this system?
When one is a balik-manggagawa, essentially it boils down to a passport and a visa, a return visa, or the contract, the employment contract that one is returning to the same employer abroad. So yun, it's just as simple as that.
Okay.
And of course, a personal appearance. No? Meron kasi kita nagtatanong, pwede bang yung nanay ko o kapatid ko ang kumuha para sa akin? We still encourage the balik-manggagawa himself or herself to personally appear before our offices. But of course, as I said, with the online facility, next year, we intend to do away with that.
Yes. Sir, pwede naman po natin pag-usapan itong mga workers on leave. Paano naman po ba yung mga, ano pong process ang mga dinadaan at ano po ang classification po nitong mga workers on leave?
Ganun din yun. Workers on leave, mga synonymous terms yan. Worker on leave, balik-manggagawa, return hire, returning worker. Those are similar terms.
Okay.
Meron fees na kailangan bayaran?
Yung fees amounts to around 2,490 or so. Yung POA fee is just 100 pesos. OWA is $25 US. PhilHealth is 1,200 pesos. And then Pag-ibig is 100 pesos. But by the way, with respect to PhilHealth, that's up to the last working day of December. Kasi effective January 2, magiging 2,400 na yung PhilHealth contribution per mandate of the PhilHealth board.
Alright. Sir, siguro maybe you have a last message po para sa ating mga manonood ngayon with regards to availing of this, the other programs that POEA has po.
Well, we encourage our balik-manggagawa to avail of all these options. It's in our POA website. It's in our website. Also, we are on Twitter, on Facebook, and Facebook. I myself am on Twitter, so pwede rin akong tanungin, pwede akong research, pwede tanungin about these matters. And of course, again, yung sinabi ko kanina, yung appointment system namin, we encourage everyone to go through the appointment system, bmappointment.poa.gov.ph. The other day, tuwan-tuwa yung mga nag-avail ng appointment system kasi about 8 or 9 of them had an 8 a.m. appointment.
Okay.
But because they were so early, we processed them as early as 6:30 kasi nagbukas nga kami 6 a.m. So tuwan-tuwa sila. So once again, yung mga nag-appointment, that is the secret. Go for an appointment because you can be processed even way ahead of your appointed time and date.
And when we were there, since nakita naman natin, di ba?
Napaka-efficient.
Kakarating pa lang natin ng 6 o'clock actually. And hindi pa nga nila ginagawa yung 6 a.m. opening. Ang dami ng tao na
Marami na rin
nakapila.
talaga.
So sir, since it's the end of the year, aside from this processing system, ano po yung mga significant achievements ng POEA for this year?
Well, for me, one of the big milestones this year, of course, in tandem with the Department of Labor through the leadership of Secretary Baldos, yung ating bilateral agreements. We had some landmark agreements this year with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the further protection of domestic workers. We had an agreement with Germany with respect to nurses. The orderly and legal deployment of nurses for Germany. Incidentally, the first 4 departed last Saturday, and there will be a bigger batch next January. So ongoing po yung sa Germany. And then 2 more with Canada and with Papua New Guinea. And of course, more are lined up for this year. Maraming ongoing this year na still ongoing but will be concluded next year, such as the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait. And maybe the other thing that I could mention is yung ating ongoing anti-illegal recruitment and anti-human trafficking drive. We registered significant increases in our public education seminars this year, including those who have been given the public education seminars. And ang ating efforts also to reach out to victims of calamities or survivors of calamities, such as those who have been affected by the earthquake and the disturbance in Zamboanga, and of course recently in Typhoon Ulat. We just visited Villamor and Fabella Center, where the survivors are housed, just to make sure that they are adequately briefed about avoiding illegal recruiters and human traffickers. So yun ang mga efforts na sinagawa natin this year. Of course, a few others that I could mention, but those are the notables that I could point out that we feel will have a significant impact on our people.
Yes. Sir, I'd like to ask lang, how about yung mga OFWs po natin na nasa Yemen? Kamusta naman po daw sila doon? And yung mga families nila as well?
Recently, of course, as you may have heard, nagkaroon ng unfortunate incident, suicide bombing within the Ministry of Defense compound, which happened to house a hospital, which happened to have Filipino nurses. And 7 of them, unfortunately, passed away, were killed by the attack. So the DFA made an assessment and have increased the alert level to alert level 3, which means an heightened security alert, which means for the POA Governing Board, an imposition of a total deployment ban on OFWs, whether returning or newly hired OFWs are now prevented from leaving.
Okay. And sir, we know that it's been a very busy and productive year for the POE. Ano naman po yung mga plans and goals niyo for the next year?
For the next year, keeping on with the bilateral track, we want to keep pressing. We want to keep pushing for bilateral agreements and engagements with other countries, even if it seems so difficult to convince these countries. So back to the Middle East, to UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Lebanon, to still convince these countries that we must further protect, and that it is the obligation as well of the receiving country to protect our OFWs, especially domestic workers. Online facilities for balik-manggagawa, as mentioned. And then yung ating, also, of course, physical facilities are important also for our OFW. So we will have a major renovation of the physical facilities at POEA Central, because we want to better serve our OFWs. More convenient places where they could wait and they could process at the POEA.
Alright. Ang dami naman natin natutunan mula kay Sir Hans Leo Cacdac ngayong umaga. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng inyong naikwento sa amin, at I'm sure marami rin pong natutunan ng ating mga manonood ngayong umaga.
Maraming salamat po. Once again, that was Sir Hans Leo Cacdac, ang Administrator ng Philippine Overseas Employment Administration.